welcome to Catapult Shots.
You better button your brain, you're in the nerds domain. Come on in, it's about to begin.
Welcome to another episode of Quick Shots from the Nerds Domain. I'm Rob, and I'm here to tell you about SmuggleCraft. This is an upcoming PS4 PC release for $14.99. They define it as a new hovercraft racer. It's not a bad definition, I suppose. This is a kind of a roguelike racing game. Procedurally generated world. Procedurally generated tracks. So each time you race, it's supposed to be a different race. The premise behind the game is you start with a $1.4 million or $140,000 debt. You're supposed to race and deliver goods to pay it off. You'll get credits, you'll get items to upgrade your cart, which has different options. So you've got the body, cockpit, nose, engine, stabilizers, peripherals. I never got to the peripheral section. They do change your physics a little bit. They do change how your cart handles a little bit. I quickly saved up a bunch of money and went way in debt and then upgraded my little craft to be a little bullet. All it is a big engine and a tiny little body. All about that fast acceleration. The fast top speed has very little traction to it. I tried the starter craft. I tried a couple other little crafts in the middle. Didn't really feel a lot of different until I got into this little guy. So, if you find the craft that works for you, find the stabilizers and things that work well, and play and have fun. We got our copy about a week early, so I was able to play with a bit on the beta, and then today I'm playing the actual release copy. I believe it's 1.0.4, so there might be a little bit of an update. Not sure yet. Overall, it's fine. It's just a fine game. It's not bad. I like the different modes aside from the solo stuff where you're just by yourself. When it's just a delivery. So they've got the delivery, they've got races, they've got a pickup, and then they've got, that's the three modes that I've seen. A towing, and there's the towing, which is kind of like one half of the pickup. So the idea is the races, you're obviously racing other other NPCs. The towing, you're dragging a part behind you. The pickup, you have to go out into the zone, pick it up, bring it back. And then you have the towing, pickup, race, and the delivery. Delivery is you by yourself, kind of racing the clock. The clock counts down through energy in the top left corner. You've got 30 energy. When your energy hits 0, you retire from the race. You get a negative penalty. Not really game over, but you have to go back to the menu and try something else. Races can give you different things like credits, items for upgrades. The downside is that I played quite a bit. I got up to the death trap difficulty, so you have multiple difficulties. The easy, moderate, difficult, extremely difficult, and death trap. They never really felt difficult. Death trap has some tricky stuff in it because you have like a really thin platform, but after a couple hours I was comfortable on it and I was able to do death trap runs pretty easily. I think part of that is that you have a lot of different items. You have energy pickups throughout the world. And so as you pass by these energy pickups, you can either get a boost or you can just regenerate the energy. I think that they're kind of too close together on the death trap settings to make it really super challenging. Even on the pickup, like it seems like they regenerate on the way back. So I'll have some out in the system that either I missed and they're spaced out so well that I can snag them, or they regenerate. Probably the most difficult of the modes is the towing and the pickup, and the reason for that is really your debris behind you or the item behind you tends to cause you to get stuck on a lot of little spots in a lot of little places. But overall, for the most part, it's not that difficult. we'll go ahead and do a death trap and die real fast and see if they changed it. So like I said, I was in a beta copy before, and in that beta copy, when I died, all it did was it kept my progress, but then it took away all my items, and except for my upgrades that I actually bought already. So I still had my craft, I still had my equipment, but anything to buy other parts and pieces I didn't have. So you lost that money, so you lose a little bit of progress that way. It's not too punishing, but for like roguelikes like this, I tend to like a little bit more punishment in my difficulty levels. I don't like a difficulty spike, but I like to have a bit of difficulty in my games. So when you look at something like Rogue Legacy, it's difficult to begin with, and as you progress, it gets easier and easier. Never easy to the point where it's trivial, but easier to work through the problems. Here, it started out easy and it stayed easy for most of the game. I didn't really upgrade my ships until later on because I was having problems with the software at the time. So I had played everything without the upgrades until this recent patch, and then I got to upgrade, and it hasn't really changed much about how I play, but it has done some really fun things with the physics. The physics, because of the ship, are a bit different. The other challenging part to the game is that you don't have a very good situational awareness. You have a tiny little mini-map in the bottom right of the screen, and this little mini-map kind of gives you an indication of where to go next and how to navigate the terrain, but it doesn't always work the way you want it to. Like if you come across a big water zone, you're kind of hosed because you can't really see where you're going. You just aim forward and go for it. I finally killed myself. Okay, yeah, so the same thing is happening. When you die, you lose your money, you lose your items, and you pick up right where you left off. So what I like about it is that it really feels like a game that's made by players who like that fast racing genre. It feels like that fast RMX or the F-Zero or the Wipeout style games. I can see that there's a good premise here. I just think that it needs a little more time to bake. I think it needs a little more time in the oven to really feel that fleshed out. Character designs are fine. Everything has got this polygonal appearance to it. The character models, which are all flat 2D renders. I don't really feel a drive or desire when I'm playing through to support one of the factions or the other. I don't really... I kind of just find a race that looks like it could be fun and run. And I tend to stick towards the more challenging races. You know, one of the things that I think really helps a game like this is being able to learn your track, know your tracks, and work through the challenges of the track. And then the AI steps up the game as you go. Here, I don't really feel like that's a thing that's happening. I don't really feel or catch what the difference is between legal and illegal. I don't really catch I think I'm just missing something that gets the hook, that drives you back and brings you back. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to try the multiplayer, and I think this might be where this game might excel a little bit. If you've got a group of players that are all playing pretty aggressively, of equitable setup and equitable style, I think it could be a lot of fun to have everybody racing for that target, racing for that goal, and then beating it off each other and getting through the game. But single player, it's kind of lacking. I really hope to see what they do with the next set of updates and really see how they change how you interact with the game. And I'd kind of like them to have a nice, like, formal game over screen. It's cool because if your character dies, your ship gets blown up, you get a little, like, subtext at the end, like, oh, your ship exploded and you took over a camp and you stayed there for the rest of your life. But it wasn't really clear what effect that was having or what was going on or why I got kicked back out of that screen. Other games, you get kicked off the track and you'd either get thrown back on the track or your ship would explode in a big blaze of glory, and you kind of lose that here. You know, it's hard when you see a product that looks really sharp and looks really pretty. I mean, it's not pretty in the conventional sense. It's pretty in the sense that it's crafted. It's crafted by a team that loves to make games. When you see something like that, where you can see the intent, where you can see the drive and desire, to say that it's not a perfect execution is a challenging thing to say. That's not to say it's a bad game. I just think it needs a couple tweaks, a couple adjustments. Oh, finally, someone's shooting at me. But unfortunately, I outran them. So, as you can tell, I'm playing while I review because it kind of keeps me in that mindset, that mind frame. I really want to say that this would be worth the $15, but I don't think it is yet. But I think in the very near future, this could be a game that could be a lot of fun to play. It almost feels like it would be really cool on an iPad or an Android device, where you could pick it up for just a few minutes, set it back down. It's not the next kind of Rocket League, but it's got a lot of potential, and I hope these guys stick with it and continue to work on this product and really drive it forward. And hopefully they get a community of players that get out there and give them positive feedback and give them good critiques and let them know this is what we really like and this is what we want to see you guys do, because I think it's right on the verge of being a really cool premise, of being a lot of fun. I just think it needs a little bit more time to bake, and maybe it does need to have that kind of early access response from the community, or maybe it does need to have that kind of widespread beta test response. Early copies I had didn't give me the control interfaces, so it was always set up for PlayStation 4, but they fixed that. Now you actually have a generic controller or Xbox controller. The sound effects are not bad. Like when you hit the ground, you know you hit the ground. You don't really do well when you hit the walls. It doesn't really pick up that you've hit the walls. On the plus side, though, the music is awesome. Whoever they've got doing their music, they need to stick with it because it is really fun and really enjoyable to listen to. That is one thing that I've really enjoyed throughout every play session is the music. The other part that's nice is that it's kind of a universal. Anybody could pick it up and throw it on their rig because it's not super graphically demanding. If you've got $15, you want to support this developer, you want to give them a little bit of time and attention, check it out. I think you can get $15 worth of fun out of it. If you're looking for more of a fast RMX or more like an F-Zero title, this might not be what you're looking for because it kind of lacks that speed. If you're looking for something silly you can mess around with your friends and probably have a lot of fun playing the multiplayer modes, I'm fairly confident that this would have a lot of fun, and hopefully they'll continue to do that, maybe add more modes in the future. From what I was able to see the customized screen, it didn't have a whole boatload, but that's alright. There's always that room for growth. So, to Happy Badger Studios, you guys keep it up and keep rocking it out. I think you guys are on to something really cool. To the players out there, play things you love. Talk to you later.
This has been Catapult Shots.
You better button your brain, you're in the nerds domain. Come on in, it's about to begin.